Good morning, everyone, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to tell you a bit about how we embrace digital technology in changing the AEC industries, particularly in Singapore, and why Surbana Jurong thinks that going forward, the transformation of our built environment is really hinged on digital technology. I like to start with this picture. This is the latest pride and joy for us in Singapore. This is a new development called Jewel. It opens about six weeks ago. On the first weekend of opening, we have 500,000 footfall walking through this development. And as you can see, developments are getting more and more challenging and more complicated. And that's the main driving force for us in Surbana Jurong to look at using digital technology to transform the industry. Yesterday and part of this morning, you have heard, how Nemeshek's group as well as GRAPHISOFT, the technology that they have, every one bit of it, we are implementing it throughout Surbana Jurong. And not a lot of people realizes that in Surbana Jurong, we are really one of the key players in Singapore that has taken us over the last 50 years to transform from what you see 50 years ago to what we have today. So everything that you see, you feel, you touch, and you experience in Singapore on your next trip, behind those are the dozens and hundreds and thousands of engineers that we have in Surbana Jurong that has led to this transformation. And going forward, in helping our nation to transform into the next century of cities and nations, we therefore need to transform our business model as well. So, today we're working closely with GRAPHISOFT to see how we can integrate the entire process of design, engineering, as well as maintenance of those facilities that we build. So over the years, we have built more than 1 million homes and 7th generation of public housing. On the first day, you listen to a speaker who spoke about how public housing has been a major issue throughout the world. And in Singapore, 82% of our population stays in public housing. And today, I would just say that the quality that we deliver in those public housing is far above what private developers would do. Up to 70% of any public housing projects in Singapore are done through precast components. So they are manufactured in the factory and delivered to site. We have also been instrumental in creating the next generation of industrial estates throughout the world, including China, India, Indonesia, Vietnam, where we create jobs for the many villages and communities that we serve. So on the right-hand side, you'll see the latest high-tech pharmaceutical manufacturers in that building. And of course, all the critical infrastructure. Today, we are involved in creating the next generation of airports in Singapore. We just finished that development that you saw. We are about to double the capacity of Changi Airport, and that will allow us to cater to 140 million passenger throughput a year. Today, we do about 65 million. And of that 65 million, 17 million choose to visit Singapore. The remainder transits through our Changi Airport. So today, we are taking our skill set throughout the world. Last year, we did about 1.7 billion Sing dollars in terms of our fee revenue. That's quite huge if you translate it into construction, equivalent to about 35 billion US dollars of construction work if you are to be a contractor. And in our transformation, we are trying to envelop the full cycle of the entire service sectors that we serve, not just in the urban sector, but also in the infrastructure sector, as well as taking it up to the asset management and facility management. Yeah. So the entire sectors we cover, and therefore we feel that today we're probably one of the few companies in the world that will be able to take and embrace digital technology and look at the benefits arising from it across the entire industrial value chain. And across that industry, today we do everything. So sometimes I tell my friends, if you don't have land, I create land for you in the sea. Yeah. And after that, we can do up the master planning plus all the infrastructure that you need, design and plan all the buildings, and finally deliver and manage it for you. Yeah. So for the entire value chain today, we are embracing digital technology in everything that we do. And later on, I will mention a bit about what we are doing. So in Singapore, we have embarked on what we call a integrated digital delivery model, where we embrace digital technology across the value chain of our AEC. So from design to manufacturing to construction, as well as to the asset management. So today we are a pioneer in terms of doing that. And in doing that, we've also come up with a roadmap as far as how do we implement that. Yeah, I believe we're probably the first country in the world to come up with this roadmap, how we will want to implement. And in that process, we are also deep into virtual reality. You know, the reality among our clients and our developers are that a lot of them cannot see things in a 3D as what we have, you know, our ability within this room. So we have to use virtual reality to demonstrate to them the value proposition that we bring to their development. And at the same time, we also have used IVRS. This is the integrated virtual reality system. Yeah. It's live. So today, we link up throughout our clients. You know, they don't have to come to our office to look at the digital model. They can use the VR Collab viewing platform, and they can see exactly what we are discussing with them in Singapore. Yeah. So this is the live system. And we are also into drones. So today, we are measuring our reclamation project. As you know, Singapore started with 550 square kilometers. Today we are 730 square kilometers through reclamation. We are measuring the volume of reclamation work by our contractors using drones. Yeah. So today we don't have to physically do physical measurements on site. And in the area of FM, we are way ahead. We just finished a building that incorporates a beam design medical hub together with a conserved building and put in our digital FM model. Yeah. And today, we are the organization that monitors about 26,000 lifts across the entire island of Singapore. So every night, we do a test on all the lifts to find out what are the issues, and in the morning, the different service providers would then go and maintain those lifts. And every month, we generate reports for our Member of Parliament so that they can manage their constituency a bit better. And of course, also helps them to explain to the constituency some of the issues. Yeah, and often they will come and tell the MP that, you know, the lift wasn't working at this hour, but based on our record, the MP can tell them no, you know, the lift was up at the particular hour. So with that, today we are moving into smart nation in Singapore. We are doing safety as well. So we're using our virtual reality system to look at safety at works. for those projects that we manage. And in generative BIM, we use algorithm to work together with our developers. So let me just show you what we are doing in our public housing, where we run through the different massing, the different designs that that we can do for our client. So today using this system, we can talk to our clients and examine the various development mixes that they want. For those architects in the design. So today we can have a very good conversation with our client and not do abortive work when they changes their mind about how many units of 3-bedroom, 2 bedrooms, or 1 bedrooms they want to put in their developments. Yeah, so that saves us a lot of work. And of course, sustainability. We are strong promoters of sustainability as we develop all our townships and industrial estates. So let me just come back to what we are working with GRAPHISOFT. As one of the speakers have mentioned, the old traditional way of a federated model is actually quite tiring, and sometimes it really doesn't result in very economical designs for all of us. So we have worked with GRAPHISOFT on a one model approach, and later on I will show you a project that we are working on. I think we have 4 projects with GRAPHISOFT, total about 2,000 over units of apartment that we are doing. And it allows us to solve a lot of the issues. And the most important part is that it's a single source of truth. So all our, whether it's architects, engineers, whether it's civil structure or M&E, works off that model. So everybody works from one model, and we have very few coordination issues. So this is a project that we have, about 700 units in the northern part of Singapore. First project, I think we have working with ARCHICAD. That's the location. So we did the massing using a Rhino 3D to start with. Of course, the final detail model on ARCHICAD 20. And we didn't go through the traditional workflow, and it's an integrated model workflow. So first, we have the architectural model from the different unit, and then go into the different story. Then we put in the structural function, MEP, and using that, combine it into a master model. So all coordinations are real time. So if you can see at the bottom, coordination is 1 day per week compared to what we would normally 2 to 2.5 days a week if you use a federated model. So in terms of revision, we could also use ARCHICAD to tabulate each of the revision and track it, so that everyone knows what are the revision. And we are using BIM Cloud, to go and work with our teams across the different countries. So today, all our teams are working on one project. And that solves a big issue for us in Singapore and in other countries, is because we often have to fly people around, and that's not very cost effective. So we are also working with the authorities to pilot this in Singapore, and also looking at how we can work with authorities to use some of the software to do auto checking and improve some of the approval processes that we have. So in conclusion, no turning back for us. We're glad that we are working with ARCHICAD on this to transform our industry. So let me just show you one of the latest projects that we have done, and we hope through the collaboration with ARCHICAD, we'll do more of this. This is a Museum of the Future in Dubai. I don't think you can get it any more complicated than that. And for your information, it's going to be completed by 2020 Expo. So that's the building at night. So thank you very much.